I'm using Think Story's whole little, not review, but like this for clips. But, my name's Fox. I'm taking name of Fox. Monarch episode 5, which I'm liking this show. It's alright. It's decent. Like, my only issue right now, and it's the issue that I kind of thought I was gonna kind of have with the show a little bit. Is obviously they can't have they can't have kaijus in every episode, and they can't really have it be like a ginormous part of it, at least until the very end. And I understand this. Like, I watched a Twisted Metal show, which I liked, but like going into it, I'm like, yeah, they're not gonna be able to have like an insane car fights like every episode. Like, there's gonna have to be some slow down things or just like slight driving or whatever. Like, you weren't gonna be able to have giant things, and that's where I think like animation and live action kind of like why I prefer animation a lot more, because you can go insane, you can do a lot more amazing things versus live action where you gotta make everything look real. You gotta make everything like this. Like, it takes a shit ton more money to CGI big ass awesome Godzilla here. So in a sense, I understand, and like I also understand that most likely at the very end we're gonna have a big ass kaiju fight with Godzilla against something. We don't know what it is yet, but I kind of have theories a little bit. At least not so much monster wise, but pretty much this episode, it continues where the last one left off. They were captured. And the team was captured, but Monarch then releases them, saying, just let them go home. They don't need to deal with this. They give them plane tickets to go anywhere. The brother and sister go, well, we're still trying to find our dad. This girl tries to cop out, but they're like, we need you. We need your help on this. And so she reluctantly goes back with their idea is, well, if they need to go, we're tracking their dad down, and so far, his first office, his office in Japan, let him, find let us find all this stuff. Maybe his other office that's in San Francisco, which was still hit by Godzilla, maybe that'll have some clues. They go back to San Fran. She meets up with her mom and her stepdad, kind of, and drops the bomb. Hey, this is my brother. Dad had other relations, which also we find out the mom kind of knew, kind of didn't. Where she's like, I kind of liked having a part-time husband, but that also made me being a part-time father, which was bad. But yeah, it was like they had an open relationship without having an open relationship. I don't know. But in either case, sorry. Throughout this episode, they have to basically get from point A to point B. The mom is part of, like, I guess reconstruction, or like they go in and get stuff go into the San Francisco area, which I'm assuming maybe there's radiation, or there's some reason I'm assuming that they're not allowing people to go there other than probably just the massive destruction. Where they have to go in there and try to find where the mom goes in there to get like stuff like picture albums or things that people wanted them to get, but the government does like have people patrolling in there for looters and stuff, and they might shoot looters on sight. So these guys like, well, we need to get in there. They take the thing there. The mom slips a 20, gets them in, and he says, be back here by 8 a.m. or, we're screwed. They go through there, and while they're going through, they're seeing different things like Kate's past, where also Ground Zero. It took me a minute to realize. It took me a minute because I had to listen to this thing because I recorded my review of this, and I found out I didn't record this part. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Record that part. Didn't record this whole thing. So I'm like, damn it. So like we're seeing everything that's happening around G-Day, pretty much. Ground Zero, as in Ground Zero. This is where everything began, pretty much. Everything began here in San Francisco. at least the biggest event, I would say. Which, it's like, it's kind of funny because I don't think the 2014 Godzilla movie was originally supposed to open up into the MonsterVerse. I don't think that was the case. I don't think they had that planned, but the movie did so well enough, and then Skull Island, I think, was really like the kickoff point. All right, yes, we are connecting them. So we are connecting them, and we're, it's going to be a big ass shared universe. I'm like, oh hell yes, but that being said, like, I do love, like, again, Ground Zero, like, God's, like, 2014 was a perfect way to set up a multiverse thing. Like, and honestly, like, I liked, what is it? They were gonna do, like, I don't know if they were gonna call it the MonsterVerse. Their own version of the MonsterVerse, or whatever the hell it was gonna be called. Where it was gonna be, like, it was, like, Tom Cruise's The Mummy, as well as, like, other stuff. Which, honestly, that movie, I didn't think was that bad. I thought it was pretty fun. And I think it would have been pretty badass and cool. I can't remember if there was, like, a big event or whatever, but, like, I think the idea of having your first movie have a big-ass event that is, like, world-expanding, like, not world-expanding, but, like, a big thing that, like, people are like, oh, shit, like, what? As your, like, catalyst for everything is kind of ingenious in a way, because now, like, we have the family from King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong, 11's family, where they were there in San Fran as well. Her little brother died, and that started a whole thing with them. But then now we have this other family, the Ramada's family, and showing, like, them here, and, like, so how that kind of broke into, new stories right now. And it's like, you could do that because, like, there's thousands of survivors there. Like, you could easily do stuff like, yeah, this thing is what spiraled everything into it. And the MCU kind of did that as the Avengers, where a lot of, like, everything else was, like, obviously their own little stories, until, like, the Avengers, where the attack in New York was a massive catalyst for a bunch of other stories. They just jumped straight into having a massive catalyst, which is not that hard with Godzilla. Which, also thinking, like, that's probably the best way to start a... Like, if you want to skip... Like, that's the thing, like, Superman kind of tried to do it. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, maybe it's not the way to do it. I don't know, I guess it depends. No. Okay, no, now I'm thinking about it. Because I'm trying to think, because the DC Snyderverse did try something similar to this with, I'm going to get to the episode, I'm sorry. With with Man of Steel, kind of. But they wrecked it when they didn't try to build out from there immediately. And they kind of went straight from Man of Steel to Batman v Superman. Okay, I think that's kind of where it really got muffled up then. Because, yeah, I could definitely see this working. They could have easily had gone off of the destruction of Metropolis with Superman, and from there built out and they kind of did that in the Flash movie a little bit, which I'm like, by God, if the Flash had his own movie and it was with that kind of origin story that happens in that movie of, like, that was the first time you ever tried to save people or something like that. Like, imagine how cool that would have been. That would have actually had, like, probably helped that a lot, other than, Ezra Miller being nuts. But it probably would have came around a lot better. Like, you could have followed stuff with a Batman movie that's kind of followed right after that, instead of going straight into Batman v Superman. Like, you could have had separate stories starting off of that single point. Yeah, like, honestly, I'm thinking about it, MonsterVerse and Snyderverse kind of had similar ideas. Man of Steel was kind of like the Godzilla 2014, and then Wonder Woman was kind of like the Kong one, where it's in the past, and then it ties into the future. Huh. But then again, I can't remember if Wonder Woman, I think Wonder Woman came out before... I don't know. Even then, I didn't really like Wonder Woman. I gotta rewatch that movie. But, so G-Day, we find... as they're going through, this girl's having flashbacks. And we do find out that she had a girlfriend. And then we find out she had another girlfriend. Which is like, so cheating runs in the family. Like, all the time, again, the mom kind of knew already, but like they didn't say it. I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, so this girl was already cheating on her girlfriend, which her girlfriend also said like she didn't learn her lesson or something, or she did learn from her lesson. So I guess she knew that she was cheating or something like that. I don't know. Also, I do know that this girl left her girlfriend here during G-Day to get on the bus, which eventually would be kind of knocked into the water when, the military attacked Godzilla. So, yeah, but, and also on that same note, too, it is funny when, like, the kids are, like, looking at their phones, they're looking at their phones, showing Godzilla, attacking Godzilla, and Muto's attacking Hawaii, and Godzilla fighting them. And God, like, I love the Monsterverse, but the 2014 one, there were some bits there. I'm just like, you could have given me that Muto fight that was in Hawaii instead of just cutting away or whatever. Like, okay, like I remember watching that movie in theaters, like, okay, they cut away. I get it. It's a funny joke to cut away from the action. But then we're going to go straight back into it, and then they don't. It's like, wow. I'm not going to lie. That kind of miffed me off. I kind of felt like this kid, like, by God. But, it's funny to think that these kids are like probably like 14 at this time when that Godzilla movie came out. Was probably like 4 when the original Godzilla. Anyways, beside the point. Yeah, they should. But anyways, on the phone they show this, and the teacher's like, yeah, that's probably fake. I'm just like, how imagine if 9/11 happened and the teacher like in Chicago was like, that's probably fake. Like, are you no? I'm like, that building's got taken down, ma'am. The giant monster destroyed Hawaii. This is live. But in either case, but yeah, Ground Zero. I'm like, that's pretty goddamn smart. She also like sees her dad and her brother and all that. Like at one point, she like gets flashbacks of it. She obviously has some massive trauma. Also, when they get to the office and they think like, oh, behind the poster, they're going to find another safe. They don't. But they do actually look at the poster, and also using some of like the data from the files that this guy's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend at this point had, they were able to actually find what looked like star points, but what wasn't. But it turned out there were markers, which then marked on the map all these different places, including San Fran, Alaska, where they were just at, and Africa, which looks like it's going to be the next spot, which also looks like it might be where the finale might happen, which I think that's where the full budget of money is going to go to have Godzilla fighting something. But like, there's these different points. So obviously there's something in Alaska, which we already saw. We don't know if there's something really in San Fran, but I think maybe like, I'd imagine, like, here's my thought on this. Like, because we see, like, there's blue energy coming out in Alaska. Some kind of blue energy just pouring out of there. I'm thinking, because apparently the novelization, which this just recently came to me, I don't know, and I'm not sure when this book really came out. The novelization of Godzilla vs. Kong talks about an Iwi legend that Godzilla, like, in Hollow Earth, ate a star. And like, it's supposed to be like some kind of special radiation that allowed him to have his atomic breath. Like, that's why he has atomic breath. And apparently that's not something specific to Godzilla species. That's just Godzilla. But then again, I don't know if the movie plays with that much. Or does that then mean that, like, those spines on the ground and all that did come from Godzilla? Or maybe maybe that came from a Godzilla who had the atomic breath and then gave birth to then the Godzilla that we know. I don't know. In either case, that would kind of make sense, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to think, because the cool thing is, if you watch the MonsterVerse movies, you do see the like first movie, obviously Godzilla doesn't use the atomic breath till way later. The second movie, he doesn't use his atomic breath till he uses his atomic breath, but it's very slow. And then kind of towards the end, I gotta stop finishing it again. But like I'm assuming like maybe towards the end of it, he obviously has more atomic power. And then in Godzilla vs. Kong, he just has atomic breath that he can fire almost whenever he wants, and point where he can just shoot atomic breath through the ground all the way to Hollow Earth, showing Godzilla has gotten stronger throughout the movies, and he has gotten to stronger abilities. But also, like, because we see, like, evolved Godzilla in the new trailer, which I haven't seen the new trailer, but by God, can I not escape Pink Godzilla. And also, I want the figure, because it looks so badass when it comes out, hopefully. Godzilla evolved, where he has the pink spikes. Like, maybe that's, like, maybe if Godzilla's whole thing is that he actually absorbed some kind of special radiation that allowed him to have his atomic breath, what if that pink aura is like that? Like, it's another special kind of aura that is coming from Hollow Earth. And what if these points, or my guess, are different, like, points of, like, that radiation, or different radiations. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if this is setting up for a new empire. It wouldn't surprise me. And, like, maybe there are these different spots where there's going to be different radiation points where Godzilla will eventually have to go to get his new pink radiation upgrade, to become evolved more. I don't know. I think it'd be badass and cool, though. Yeah, so different marker points all across the Earth. And they're gonna have to go to Africa next, which, again, all the promotional posters for this show shows Godzilla in, like, green scenery, like, standing out in, like, a jungle forest. So I'm again assuming Africa. But yeah, and maybe that's where the dad will be. And also there might be something else tied in too, because I just call her Russian lady, but like this lady who kind of helps Glasses, she gets this girl her card, says, if you find anything out, send it to me, I can get you home, I can clear out whatever. And also we do find out that there's nothing official, like, warrants or anything out for this girl's arrest, so why she left Tacoma is beyond me, or beyond us right now. It's like, maybe it's like some kind of criminal mafia thing. I don't know. But yeah, and it looks like she calls in for that. But then you also have something with wait, what?
He wants her business and life back. So teaming.
But then you also have Shaw, which one genius move to have like this video played, one to try to like kind of soften him up, but also having it to where he stands in his younger self, or really his son, because Kurt Russell and was, but his younger self's like image, looking at the woman that he most likely loves. Like, it's very smart, like, imagery for it, especially when like he eventually turns around and everything too, and he's still in that image. But this lady pretty much is close to the director, acting director, whatever. And she goes into a whole, unique, like, what are you doing here? Why are you trying to escape now? And all this stuff. He goes, and Barrett says, like, I'm trying to find things. I'm trying to fix this or do something, because, like, right now, Monarch's whole, like, he says it kind of right here.
Let them fight strategy, a reference to the line by Monarch.
He doesn't like that strategy, which I'm like, all right, I like that they brought that up. But, like, he's like, 60 years, you guys are the smartest people, and your one plan is let them fight? Here's a question. What happens if Godzilla lost? Which, on one note, like, because here's the thing. I love the Monsterverse. I love the Monsterverse a lot, obviously. But there is, like, and the thing is, too, like, I want to make a video kind of about this. But I'm trying to think. There's like a thing where people say, like, oh, the Monsterverse movies are just dumb monster movies. Like, you just go there to see the monsters fight. Which, yes, I do. But there is symbolism in those fights. There is symbolism. There is a running story, or like a running theme in the Monsterverse that if humanity tries to control nature, nature will pretty much kill it. Will kill it. Or if they try to, take nature for all it's worth, you're gonna kill the planet. And nature will probably react and try to fix it. Try to fix it itself. Where instead, you should be trying to work with nature, which Serizawa says that in King of the Monsters. They say, we have to work with Godzilla. And, people are like, oh, we're going to make him our pet? No, we're going to be his. Because, in all honesty, because I watched a video, or a movie, or a show. I can't remember what it was. It was like a special. That they were talking about, if the world ended, what you should do and stuff like that. And, one of the points that this guy brought up that I always remember is that he's like, nature, humanity's idea that they control nature is false. Within a year, nature will reclaim, our cities. Nevada and Las Vegas would be completely covered in sand in a year or a few months. We do not control nature, and we have not conquered nature. We're just merely trying to hold the dam back before it breaks, and then nature just takes over anyways. So the idea is to work with nature to help it. And it's a running theme that you see throughout the movies, in King of the Monsters, which I've been rewatching the movies. I started with Godzilla vs. Kong, and I'm kind of working backwards a little bit. I'm watching King of the Monsters now, which is my favorite movie, and then I'm probably gonna watch 2014, and then I'll go to Kong Skull Island. Which now I think about it, I'm literally going back in time for all those. But yeah, so you had to work with it. What if Godzilla didn't win? We'd probably be we'd probably be screwed. Really, really, really screwed. But on that same note, what would we do? I guess you hit him with the oxygen destroyer, if they had it at that point. But eventually, Ghidorah would have probably still happened. That's the... And then you have stuff again, another thing in King of the Monsters, when nature was winning, when Godzilla was killing Ghidorah in the water and would have ended all of this, and then humanity's nope, take it to our hands, blow him up with the oxygen destroyer, hits it, nearly kills Godzilla, nearly lets Ghidorah take over the planet. It is very much the idea of we either work with nature, we work together, or we're all screwed. We have to work together to protect the planet, and if we don't, we're screwed. That is a running theme throughout the whole thing. And we've seen that many times. I might make a video about that itself. We make it many times. And I get Shaw's whole idea. I get Shaw's ideology. I get Shaw's what if Godzilla didn't win? I'm yeah, we would be screwed. But also on that same note, we should then have, been backing him up in that fight, which we see in Ghidorah thing. We work with nature and we succeed versus trying to kill nature. Because even in King of the Monsters, in the end, what helps stop Ghidorah is humanity working with Godzilla, obviously, along with Mothra, and Mothra helping Godzilla as well. Humanity working with Godzilla, because Serizawa had to give Godzilla in the end that extra boost from the atomic bomb, nuclear bomb. So in any case, and then also there's also some things are brought up about Lee Shaw, because they do bring up his age. He should be 90 something, yet he's younger. Yeah, he's younger than he should be. He's still aging, but very slowly. Which also I think may tie into the map thing. What if, like I said, the blue energy obviously is probably a main power source and all that stuff for the Hollow Earth, but also maybe there are different radiation energies, like the pink one that we see Godzilla have later, or in maybe even something for there might be other radiations, and each one might have their own different abilities or different How are things? Which I kind of would love to see. Like, that'd be so insane when you go in such, like, campy territory, but also would be kind of amazing. Like, what if Godzilla, when he goes evolved, has, like, new powers and shit? Like, God, that'd be so cool. But, like, freaking has, like pink energy claws or some shit. I don't know. But, yeah, like, it's Shaw, apparently something went wrong. A mission went wrong, and something like that happened. But I would imagine, like then that's probably why he's slowly aging. Also, apparently, Monarch started before Shaw was there, but I thought Shaw, this girl, and Amada were all. I thought they were all. I thought those three were the start of Monarch, or I guess maybe she was the start, and then it blew up into everything else. I don't know, but yeah. And then I'm trying to think here. But yeah, also with that same idea of like slowly aging stuff, that could, I mean, John Goodman's character, who is, you know, the grandfather of the siblings, he could still be alive if he lived on Skull Island. He could still be alive if the same radiation that gave him his power or keep him young, is with this guy as well. And got this guy as well. I don't know. All I know is. This show, I'm liking this show. I'm liking the show a lot. There are a lot of mysteries. Again, I could use with more kaijus and titans and stuff, but also I feel like they are, again, saving it up for the very end, where we're gonna get, the big kaiju Titan fight at the very end. The only question is, what is the kaiju that's going to be there? Or what's going to be there? Or is it going to be like, there are these multiple different spots around the world, and maybe, like, there's a kaiju at each one? A Titan at each one? I don't know, but I do think, like, it might have something to tie in with, like, different radiation, stuff like that. But, tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you're I've done, links are on my Facebook, subscribe on other somewhere, videos. Hopefully you enjoy this. I'm liking this show a lot, and I want to see what's going to happen next. But thanks for watching, and we will see you later. Yeah, God, this is freaking. Also, I got like a new Monsterverse figure that I might do like unboxing for. So, yeah, like, cause like I saw it, like, legitimately. Like, I love Kong. Don't get me wrong, but I saw like Godzilla. I was like, yeah, I want Godzilla one, obviously. But then I saw this Titan one, and I was like, I want that. I want that now. I'm buying that now. I'll get Kong another time. I want this one now.